what's a wage garnishment? These are, court orders for an employer to withhold money from an employee's paycheck for a number of reasons. Most often, the reasons are for debt owed on child support or student loan or other loan payments, and basically through this wage garnishment. It's a state or local document, so it'll take different forms, but it typically looks like a very official court document. And through that, the employer then becomes responsible for, deducting certain amounts from the employee's wages and transmitting them to the creditor. And so, this federal law sets forth, certain things that an employer, must comply with. So, one of the first things the CCPA addresses is the garnishment amount. So typically if you get one of these, wage garnishments, you'll see whether, the state counterpart might be different, but, it typically will specify, the amount that needs to be taken out. And, typically it's under the CCPA, it sets a floor at, it can only be 25% of the employee's disposable earnings. Basically, that's 25% of their after-tax, paycheck, can be garnished, or they can only have wages that exceed, I believe it's 30 times the federal minimum wage. Only those that exceed, 30 times that can be garnished. So obviously what the law is doing is making sure that, employees are still making a living while, paying off the debt that they owe. Now, for child support and alimony payments, the caps are a bit higher. There's, clear reasons, I think, why that would be the case.
Sure.
And I mean, look, the caveat being, if you ever receive a wage garnishment and the employee comes to you and says, hey, I want you to withhold even more than the garnishment and pay that, right now, that's okay. I mean, obviously get that in writing, but employees can opt to, pay more, per week than is required.
I think you mentioned something, Brian, about FLSA that, so like a deduction, say for a uniform, it has to be agreed upon by the employee, but that's not necessarily the case for garnishments, right? I mean, you can't have someone that lost a civil case, the judge says, deduct this from their check, and the employee gets to opt out, right?
Right. So this is one where you're going to provide the employee notice, but it's not up to them.